Hello, everyone. This is the final, the dozenth beer of the dozen beers of Xmas. And we're about to get really, really big with it because we've got the strongest beer, we've got the darkest beer, we've got the richest, most decadent beer, we've got Ecstasy of Gold.
Oh, yes.
The Ecstasy of Gold. And as you can see, look at that. I mean, you'll see it when you pour it yourself as well, but it's just...
You've done well there, Josh.
I've gone for a hole. There's a black hole of flavour.
A much bigger glass. This is my Butcher's Tears glass.
So yeah, Ecstasy of Gold. This is the only imperial stout within the dozen beers that you've purchased for this series, and it's a great way to finish. We recommend, as we said in the last video, that you've let this warm up just a little bit, probably taken out of the fridge at least 20 minutes ago, and then you can drink it slowly and appreciate that the flavor changes over time as it changes temperature as well. So yeah, Cam, if you'd like to get started on what the beer is specifically.
I would love to. And if you've already tried this beer, then you probably think, oh wow, well, hopefully, optimistically, I'm saying, you'll think there's a lot going on here, there's a lot of flavor going on. What is in it? And I can confidently tell you that this is water, barley, and yeast. And that's pretty much all that makes up the beer. There's also chocolate and vanilla, but in the very basis of the beer, that is literally all there is. There's like, we added a little bit of sugar to it, but we were really, really keen on making this beer an imperial stout that was all malt. We didn't really want to go tinkering with it too much. We've used the seven or so imperial stout recipes that we've done in the past to influence how we put this together. But this is a real collaborative sort of project between myself, Aaron, and Luke, I guess, where we all had different ideas about what an imperial stout should be. We've made plenty before, and Aaron really sort of cast his rod into the brewhouse floor, and there's a tiny reel, and me and Luke really tried to capture what Aaron had in mind. And I think, judging by his reaction to this beer that I've seen on a few occasions, I think we got it just right. So the idea was straight up imperial stout, nice and sweet, full of body, full of flavor, not gimmicky, not too marshmallowy or sort of like too much vanilla or coffee or any of those things. But yeah, so it's a really big stout, and there's low color chocolate malt, black malt, special B, which I mentioned in the Hazard After Midnight video. There's toasted wheat, torrefied wheat. I'll post the full list of malts in the comments. There are so many I can't possibly remember them. We went really hard on this beer and try and make it as thick and delicious as possible. And then the vanilla, I'm not sure if you're aware, but vanilla, if you try and buy it in the supermarket, you probably pay like £3 for 2 pods in a glass jar. Vanilla is just about the most expensive, like, spice, for want of a better word, you could want to put in a beer for the amount of flavor that you get out of it. Saffron's much more expensive, as people know, but you need very little amount of saffron to get a big amount of flavor. Vanilla is much more subtle for its value. So it's something that we wrestle with, because one of our very, very first brews, Lucid Dream, the first batch we did, we adored, and then the price of vanilla doubled 2 weeks later. As soon as it had won the best stout at York Beer Festival, the price of vanilla doubled, and then doubled again the year after. So it is one of those things. So we've been working on that, and we've been trying to get the most flavor out of our vanilla as possible. So this has got a mixture of Madagascan vanilla pods, where we sort of scrape out the seeds, chop the pods into bits, chuck them in the tank, and what do you call it? What's the word? I'll think of the word. A maceration, I guess, so the extract that we use is not an extract or a concentrate. It's not an essence. It's not a cheat. It's got real vanilla in there, but it makes our lives a bit easier because somebody else has effectively blitzed the pods.
It's like a natural paste.
A natural, yeah, I guess so. I guess so. It comes in a clear-ish liquid, and but that substance that we use is 200 grams of vanilla per liter of stuff that we use, and we've put maybe 4 or 5 liters of that in this beer plus vanilla pods. So it's really, really sticky and strong and sweet, and the vanilla just complements it. And the cacao oil comes from cacao nibs, which we use in quite a lot of beers. And yeah, it's I'm really, really chuffed with it. And other thing of note is that this is the first release of this beer. In approximately 8 months' time from now, you might see cans and kegs of a barrel-aged version of this beer, which I'm bloody excited about, because this is already, to me, this is like it feels like a well-aged sort of mature stout. It doesn't feel like something that we've put out and it's a little bit young and it could do with 6 months in the can. This to me feels like a good, solid imperial stout. The barrel-aged version has gone into different kinds of bourbon barrels. Our first barrel-aged project in Knaresborough. And yeah, you should be excited about it if you like this, because God knows we are.
Definitely. Next time I go back to the brewery on site, can we tap into the barrel and try it?
Definitely try it. I mean, me and Luke have not tried any of it yet, because the barrels that we've got were a little bit volatile to start with. Some of the fresh barrels and the stout reacted pretty heavily, and to mitigate the mess, we've just been sort of leaving it. Our rule is normally we leave it for 3 months before we go in for a sample, but I think that roughly lines up with Christmas. So I think we'll make sure that that's because I think one of the times you were in the brewery was one of the times me and Luke were filling the barrels. We had a wee bit of whiskey from the bottom of them, which was nice. And
that was nice, getting direct from Kentucky or Tennessee, or whatever it was.
Unfiltered Tennessee whiskey with bits. But yeah, no. Yeah. So sorry, go on, mate.
I was gonna say, I totally see Aaron in this. This stout. It's a stout from before people started using the word pastry. And it also, when I try it and I'm thinking of like English imperial stouts, it's instantly making me think of like, you know, the 1884 London, the Colonel, and from like, you know, when we try the 5 points, the stronger porters that they do, and you've got the complexity of the malts and like huge flavors within that, but actually no clumsy adjunct flavors. It's all, you know, most of the flavor comes from the actual barley used.
But yeah, no, I love this beer, and I actually probably, it's kind of off-brand because there is a horse on it, but I think it's one of my favorite can designs as well. It's difficult to put a horse on a beer without making it seem like it's a traditional thing, which is why we put a hop in a hat on the horse.
Yeah, I think that's why it's good, because it's a good balance between our usual eccentric artwork and then actually it falling in line with the name, the Ecstasy of Gold, and being, you know, all about American Westerns.
Definitely, 100%. But yeah, no, it's a lovely stout, just backed up a little bit with some vanilla. Like I said, we put a lot in there. It's still a pretty subtle flavour. The majority of what you're tasting is English grown and English malted barley, untreated water straight from our source in Knaresborough, and some really alcohol tolerant yeast that will finish the job off for us. The vanilla and the chocolate are pretty much there in what you can taste in the malt and the profile of the beer, just rounded out a little bit. But yeah, it's as close as we can get, I think, to a mellow imperial stout that's good for falling asleep on the sofa watching a Christmas film.
Yeah, I think the vanilla and cacao, I definitely use the word complementary to the beer rather than like standing out away from it or just, you know, being obscenely obvious.
Oh, it's delicious. I love it. But yeah, false advertising on the can. There is no hop.
This is the first time I've had this since probably August, I'd say. I think it's got better. I think it's better
Taps
now.
always do. It's great, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, that's some of Lottie's best artwork. Some of our favourite brewing that we've done, and yeah, as it says on the can, straight up big stout, double mashed, 3 tons? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 tons. That's quite a lot, isn't it? The most we could fit in our mash tun in Kirby Moorside was 550 kilos. So that would have been, this would have been six mash tuns, just shy of 6 mash tuns at the original brewery.
A sextuple mash.
Yeah. Thankfully, our wonderful kit in Nesborough that we've got now, we're still kids in a sweet shop about how much easier brews like that are. And yeah, this was a long day. We boiled the beer for a good long time, and yeah, it's a real treat, an Imperial Stout day. You've got to make sure that you're not doing anything else. You're not packaging any beer or expecting any deliveries because you just want to enjoy it. It's one of those things as well. And for me, the first run-ins, the really sweet stuff that comes out of the mash tun is an absolute dream.
That's if you want to mix that with porridge, by the way, if you ever get a chance to have Imperial Stout work and you mix it with porridge, or you can just mix it 50-50 with a nice whiskey.
100%. 50-50 with a whiskey. We've done the porridge thing before. We've done Weetabix as well. And what really works well is if you cool it down and then use it as cocoa pot milk.
I've not done that. That's my next one then. For
next time.
Definitely. I was really happy with the fact that we managed to get quite a lot of this Imperial Stout into Norway. You know, a lot of my favorite and a lot of everyone's favorites Imperial Stout brewers in the UK are based in Scandinavia, and Norway have been host to Amundsen and Lervig is royalty in that regard. So yeah, we work quite closely with an importer who brings our beers into Norway, and we managed to get this Imperial Stout along with a couple of other beers into the Vinmonopolet, which is the government-controlled bottle shops. And then yeah, got complimentary messages from brewers at Amundsen saying that they tried our Imperial Stouts, which was brilliant as well.
Yeah, that's really nice. And we love that sort of thing. It's makes the job all the more fun when you get nice messages about our beers. I like this hat. If you bought one of our mini kegs, you'll also have the same hat.
I didn't buy a mini keg, so I haven't got a hat. Sorry.
You'll probably get a hat next time you're in.
Yeah, definitely. But not for the videos. But I've got branding, so
you've done very well.
I'm also wearing a star because I go on top of the tree.
And a star is born once again. But yeah, no,
and my middle name's Gabriel, so I'm also the angel.
It's beautiful. It all makes sense. But this session of drinking 12 beers in 12 minutes with Josh has been really fun. But yeah, no, just to wrap up our week and a bit, nearly 2 weeks. Crikey, if you're still with us, you've done a really good job. Sad that there's no more tomorrow, but if you're really struggling, if you've got to the end of this and you think, oh God, I've got 2 different Turning Point beers in the fridge, won't Cameron and Josh just appear in my living room? Maybe we can make something happen. If you message us really nicely, I'm for it. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, personalised video if you've got extra Turning Point beers. Yeah, no problem.
If you've got anything else, by the time you're watching these videos, maybe Analog Odyssey exists. Maybe we can do a video about that. But yeah, no, seriously, guys, if you're still watching, if you're still with us on day 12, we really appreciate it. And of course, we wish you a very Merry Christmas. And I know it's been a difficult year, but we thank you immensely. Like, I really mean it, for all the support of our brewery this year. Like, we've been dealt a kind of a hammer blow this year from March. This was not to get too turn the heartstrings, I guess, but this needed to be a good year for us because we just moved from brewery A to brewery B. We got off to a flying start, a really good start. We're looking forward to bringing the whole team together and having a really good year and bringing some more staff on board. And our kite got shot down with a crimson arrow pretty early in the year, and it's been a challenge. But what I would say is that the whole thing's been made a lot more bearable by people like yourselves that have supported us, share our posts on the internet and all that good stuff, review the beers on Untapped, anything that puts us in the eyes of other people that might eventually buy our beer is really appreciated, and I genuinely mean it. It's kept us going and it's kept us alive, and I can't thank you all enough.
Yeah, what Cam said, every single like recognition of us as a small business, every single purchase of our beer, I know it's cheesy to say, but when you buy off a small business such as ours, then the people that own it and the people that are dependent upon it, like they actually see you spend the money and they get the money and they are really happy about it and they're happy that their business is working, as opposed to large conglomerates that don't know that you exist. So yeah,
don't forget that large conglomerates then take that money and put it somewhere else.
Of course, yes, offshores normally. So for us, every purchase that's been made via our online shop, every person that's gone to any of the struggling hospitality venues that buy our beer as well and purchased it through them, that's just as important. And the fact that you've bought a dozen of our beers to bring you into the holiday season is warrant of our thanks as well. Cheers.
Definitely. So yeah, make sure you've got some more beers in the fridge. If that's not from us, then Josh, 3 recommendations for the people to try over Christmas or the breweries. I'll kick off with my other thing. I'll go with Liquid Light, wonderful brewery in Nottingham. Can't recommend them enough. It's run by 2 lovely people. Their beers are incredible, and they've certainly kept me going through lockdown. And it's also made me feel good that I've been buying their beer. And yeah, lovely people, lovely beers. And who else? Say Neon Raptor just kicked off again. Another Nottingham brewery. I don't know, I've gravitated towards Nottingham. And yeah, wonderful IPAs, other styles, great stouts, lovely people. And I'm going to steal Josh's third one, probably, maybe. I'm going to say Vibrant Forest, and I've tried their beers quite a few times over lockdown and really enjoyed them. So that is my 3. What do you think, Josh?
Right, I'm going to go for, I heartily recommend Yonder Brewery. Yonder in Somerset. It's guys that we're quite close to. We spent a lot of time with at festivals and things. Specialize in mixed fermentation, barrel aging, saisons and sours, and more specifically to them, foraging. They spend a lot of their time gathering specific herbs and fruits from their local area in Somerset and using them in their products, which I think is brilliant from a taste perspective and also from an environmental perspective. You can buy through their online shop. Then also I'd probably recommend Anthology Brewing Company, which is one that you're probably less likely to have heard of than Yonder. Anthology is based in Armley, which is geographically probably the closest brewery to me. And Liam, who runs it pretty much single-handedly, has been doing local deliveries across the whole of the West Yorkshire area all through lockdown. And I got a load of his beers in the summer, and I already knew they were good, but yeah, I got loads of little growler fills and things off him, and they were unbelievable. So definitely recommend Anthology to help him going. And I'm also going to say Atom Brewery, because close to my heart. I've known Atom Brewery and the people that work for them since I was at university, based in Hull. And yeah, great guys, great beer. As much as you can support them or any other small business, small brewery in the whole of the UK, of which there are now hundreds and hundreds, then every little helps.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, guys. We've really enjoyed these videos, and I dare say that me and Josh wish that there were 12 more beers so we could carry on and do the 24 beers of Xmas, or the 24 beers of Xmas. And yeah, we wish you well. Have a really good Christmas, and keep doing what you're doing. Keep supporting local breweries, and hopefully we will see you in the not too distant future at a beer festival, meet the brewer, tap takeover, whatever it is. And yeah, until then, stay safe. Have a great one, guys. Cheers. Cheers, Josh.
Cheers. Cheers, Cam.